I've seen that this really working towards this flow understanding has given me another tool of diagnostics, because I can see who you become in that flow state is really the physical thing.
It definitely gives you a great look at your upper limits, first of all, right? That's one of the things that happens in flow. You know this is my upper boundary line, so you also know which direction to push on, right? But I think one of the things that's so interesting to me about flow and athletics is people ask me, as a skier, for example, my best day on the hill is the day when I don't have flow. What I want is you get in a flow state Monday and you level up and you're doing all these crazy things, and then I got to put in 3-4 months of foundational work to get to the point that I can do all the stuff I can do in flow out of flow. And
right.
Usually when those days happen, right, they're totally uncomfortable. I hate those days as an athlete. Really, they're never pleasant because I don't have one of the things that happens in flow is all those neurochemicals, they deaden pain. They, things that make the whole experience more fun. But I love the days when they don't show up, and yet I can perform at that level because it tells me that, oh my God, my skills have totally leveled up. And then the next time I get into a flow state, it's going to give me a picture of the next vista and the next place to go. So I think, you're using it as a diagnostic tool, which is great. I think you get the other side of that where it allows you to kind of look back and look forward at the same time.
If I try to explain some of the phenomena I see in the context of this, one of the things that I think pops up is, I run a CrossFit gym, and we see people in the class setting with a little bit of competition, with a little bit of peer pressure, knowing that they're going to be under physical duress. I think we see some of the magic that you described for average people, they have it in this daily dose. And that's why I think we've seen the Olympic lifting and some basic gymnastics, and plus some of the hard metabolic conditioning has really, I think, focused people in a way and tapped into some deep innate thing that I think you've described perfectly is the reason why people are coming back and becoming really, really hooked on this physical practice, because it is so intellectually difficult at the same time.
Well, one of the things, CrossFit in general, right, if you look at the flow triggers, right, we talked about high risk, high consequences, but you go one step down the line and you talk about a trigger known as rich environment. It's lots of novelty, complexity, unpredictability. All these things grab hold of our attention, they drive it into the now, they trigger dopamine release under the surface. But the fact that you guys don't post your workouts until the day of, right? I show up and I know CrossFit is going to be hard and I find out just, right? So there's unpredictability, there's complexity, there's novelty, there's consequences, and there's also, if you go into one of the deeper triggers, the challenge skills balance, right? You want whatever you're doing, the task at hand has to be slightly harder than the skills you bring to bear. Yes. And CrossFit is this endless leveling up progression, right? So and of course, it's deeply embodied. You're using multiple sensory streams at once. You're doing a lot of different movements at the same time. So you got to really pay a lot of attention, drives focus on them now. So these are 4 major flow triggers that are all built fundamentally into the CrossFit practice at a really deep level. So of course it's totally addictive, and of course, the flow people are getting to in the gym is translating into their daily life as well.
If what you've heard on Flow Research Collective Radio has been helpful, please consider doing us a solid and leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening to this. Reviews help us connect to a wider audience so we can get these peak performance principles out to more people.